Do not be alarmed. You didn't just stumble upon this video on accident. The reason you were drawn to choose this video and listen is because I sensed you were being watched and chosen. Now you may be wondering to yourself, chosen for what? Well, there's a being that is a higher power than us, that is lurking, and it has its sights set on you. Why? It needs a body with a heart and soul that weighs heavy with emotion, who are momentarily vulnerable, and this being will use you. It uses your mind and negative emotions to draw you into a state of weakness. For example, the more angry, scared, or sad you become, you make for an easier target. Now, there are ways to keep you safe, and I will explain, but you need to listen. Stop what you're doing and listen very carefully to these rules you absolutely must follow. When the clock strikes midnight, the hunt begins. When wandering around, or when you get up from bed at night, avoid all mirrors. If you notice a slight delay, or maybe your reflection looks a little bit happier than you think you actually are, that is not you. This creature will try to make you feel calm, like nothing is wrong, just to get closer to you. When you go to the bathroom, do not look behind the shower curtains if they are closed. By this time, there's a chance it's made it close enough to you that it may be around the corner or right behind you. Never stare at corners of the room for too long. The last thing you want is to see this thing seeping through the dark corners of the room. Make sure the closet doors are closed. Never look under or stand too close to the bed for too long. If you sleep with your back to the room, do not turn around if you hear any breath, sounds, or feel a sudden change in the room temperature. If you are a spiritual person and you feel a change in the energy of the room, you need to know that it has arrived and keep calm. If you remain strong and courageous, there is a chance it will back off. But most importantly, if you sleep next to a window, make sure the curtains or blinds are closed. And if they aren't, do not look out the window. If you make eye contact with it, you give it the sign that you acknowledge its existence, and it will make a move to come in. You'll know that it's made it into your room if you hear anything crackle, sudden air being blown into your face or ear. Any shadows or tiny glimpses of light that you may have seen are also indications of it being very close. Now arises the question in your mind, what happens if it gets in? You may not like to hear it. Your vision will be obscured. You will always see things that maybe you aren't supposed to see. Hear things you weren't supposed to hear, and you'll wonder, am I going mad? But you'll never know. You will have the urge to turn on the light, but you can't, because when you do, you will only have mere moments before your life comes to a halt. Not necessarily an end, but you will not be able to think straight. You will be able to hear yourself, but nobody else. You will fall asleep and remain conscious, but you will not wake up again for as long as this thing has your body. Some might say, this is a fate worse than death. It'll be a sleep you will never gain rest from, a state that you feel so alone. You hope that death is nothing like it, and at the same time, you wish it would just come already. Now the question may be rising, what is this thing that causes all of this? Well, let's just leave this thing to be called Thyrius. Now, I cannot say what will happen to your body, to be sure. You may just never come back, or it will take control, like a sort of skinwalker. Who's to say, really? But ultimately, to make sure it never can choose you as a target, just
don't think about it.